the way you hold me. By my side, you'll always be. It's like each and every day, make it special in some way.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's going to be a bit of a different video. I usually do like mental health and things like that, but I've noticed this really cool video trend, not trend I guess, only a few people do it, but I don't want to take credit for their idea because I think it's so cool, and I just wanted to do a video just to see how it felt doing one because I think they're so cool to watch. There's this YouTuber I watch called Bailey Sarian, and she does makeup and murder. And I think it's the coolest thing ever. I'm going to link her channel in my description. But I thought I might like to do something like that. I've wanted to do a Get Ready With Me forever. And I also wanted to do this murder mystery. And I think it's the coolest thing in the world. I just want to try one of these videos. But from now on, I'm probably just going to do one of them, like, you know, just sit down and talk about murder mysteries. Because I think those are really cool too. But today I'm going to get ready just because I haven't put makeup on in forever. And I really, really, really need to. So I have just some products right here that I brought in my room. Because I usually keep them in my bathroom. And I'm going to get ready and talk about the story that I've loved literally forever. I don't know why, but this story is so fascinating to me. I have the Wikipedia page because I'm really bad at remembering things. So just in case I forget anything, I have the Wikipedia page. I'm not an expert. I just think this entire story is really cool. Again, this is not my idea. I've seen a few people do it on YouTube, but Bailey Sarian is the main reason I'm doing it. I will link her channel in the description. I love her. She's so pretty and she's so good at what she does, and I love her channel. So I'll link her in the description, but right now the story is on Maura Murray, if you guys have heard of her. I probably took my glasses off so I can do this. Okay, I also can't see, so just bear with me. Maura Murray was, I think, how old was she? 21? She was 21, and this happened in like 2004. She was a nursing student. She's from Massachusetts. She went to she went to a military academy school at West Point, which is a really popular one, I'm pretty sure, and she was really smart. She was going to be a nursing student, and she transferred to the University of Massachusetts. She had a boyfriend, very steady boyfriend for a few years, long time, talked about getting married. She's had the same group of friends since she was in high school. She absolutely loved her friends. Very sweet and caring person. She was really close to her dad, I think. What else am I gonna say? See, I'm so bad at this, but I just think these are so fun to watch. Okay, so she transferred to Massachusetts, and some weird things were happening right before she disappeared, and she's really happy. She's very open with her family, which is why this was such a big surprise to them. She was very open with them. So when something happened and she just wasn't very honest or anything, they got concerned because, you know, that was not like Maura. So November 2003, 3 months before she disappeared, she had admitted to using a stolen credit card to order food from different restaurants. And it was very weird, and she had very good behavior, though, because obviously she wasn't bad. This was very unlike her, so the case was dismissed. So February 2004 is when she disappeared, right? And on that evening of February 5th, 2004, she spoke on the phone to her older sister, whose name was Kathleen, who she was also very close with. She had a campus security job on campus at her college. And nobody ever knows what they discussed. Like, nobody ever knows what happened. She talked about her fiance, or her boyfriend at the time, her fiance, boyfriend, whatever, who he was. They talked about those problems, and around 10:30, she broke down in tears, and a lot of people say that it was totally unlike her to do something like that, but they think it was about the phone call with her sister, which I guess it makes sense that she can break down over problems with her fiance, but it just didn't make any sense because she was always open and didn't really freak out like this. So they were all really confused, and they were like, what's going on? So her supervisor arrived at her desk, and she was totally zoned out, didn't have a reaction, very unresponsive, which again is not like her. So she was escorted back to her dorm room around 1:30 a.m. When asked what was wrong, she said 2 words, "my sister," which made people think that not only they didn't really just talk about her fiance, you know, like they talked about something else that made her really upset. Because otherwise, if they're like, "What's wrong?" she's going to say, "Oh, my fiance." So they think it's something that her sister said. And apparently her sister came out and said, well, I don't know if she came out and said it, but people found out that her sister was a recovering alcoholic, thought that may have played into their phone call. The contents remained unknown until the sister explained that she had been discharged from a rehab clinic that evening, and on the way home, her fiance took her to a liquor store, which caused an emotional breakdown. which didn't really add up to a lot of people. But anyways, so on Saturday, February 7th, her father arrived in Amherst. I guess that's right, Amherst. They said that they went car shopping because she needed a new car. And side note, I think, now don't quote me on this, I think that like a week or two before she crashed her dad's car, and she had like an emotional breakdown about it. Like, she was freaking out because she had crashed her dad's car, was so upset. And then they were going to go car shopping for her, I think. I think she needed one because she was borrowing his or whatever. But they said that she dropped her father off at his motel room and borrowed his car to return to campus to attend a party that night. And she arrived at 10:30, and at 2:30 the next morning, February 8th, she left the party. At 3:30, she left to go to the hotel. Oh, yeah, and then that's when she wrecked her dad's car. That was, like, a lot of damage, like $10,000 worth of damage. It was a lot of damage. They wrote an accident report, blah, blah, blah. And 4:49, apparently, there was a cell phone placed to her boyfriend from her dad's phone, I think. The participants and contents of the call were unknown. Later Sunday morning, he learned that his car would be covered by insurance. He rented a car, dropped her off, and departed for Connecticut, which is, I guess, where they were from. At 11:30, he called his daughter to remind her to obtain accident reports. See, this is the part of the story I'm not too familiar with, but I'm familiar with, like, the stuff that happens when she disappears. They agreed to talk again Monday to discuss forms and fill out the insurance. Monday, February 9th. This is when it gets, like, interesting. Okay, so let me figure out what my makeup stuff is. Okay, because I cannot see. I'm blind, so this is not a good video for me. But I'm enjoying it. So after midnight on Monday, February 9th, she used her personal computer. Now, this is back in 2004, so we don't have maps. We don't have, like, Google Maps or, like, anything like that. So she used MapQuest for directions to the Berkshires from Burlington, Vermont. Now, mind you, she lives in Massachusetts going to college. This is the biggest reason. She knows no one in Vermont at all. That's her entire family and friends were confused. She knows no one in Vermont. They said that the first reported contact she had was at 1 p.m. on that day when she emailed her boyfriend, "I love you more. I got your messages, but honestly, I don't feel like talking much to anyone. I promise to call today, though. Love you, Maura." Now, they were pretty close. Been together for 3 years, right? So, she made a phone call inquiring about renting a condo at the same Bartlett, New Hampshire Condo Association with her family had vacationed in the past. So it wasn't really weird that she was reaching out to them, I guess. They say the call lasted 3 minutes. The owner did not rent the condo to her. She called a fellow student at 1:13. Nobody knows what they talked about. So 1:24, she emailed, what color am I going to do? I don't know. Let's go with this brown one. Ooh. That's nice. By no means am I an expert in murder or makeup, but I enjoy them both. So that's why I'm doing this. So this is really the strangest part of the story, which I feel like is the weirdest. So 1:24, she emailed a work supervisor at the nursing school where she attended and said that she would be out of school for a week due to a family death. Nobody in her family died. Okay. It said that she would contact them when she returned. Nobody died, and she knew nobody in Vermont was the weirdest thing. She was driving towards Vermont, and she knew nobody in Vermont. 2:05, she called the number which provides information due to booking hotels in Vermont. The call lasted 5 minutes, and she called her boyfriend, said they'd call later. Call ended after 1 minute. In her car, she packed clothing, toiletries, college textbooks, and birth control. Now, this is not a huge thing, but birth control, typically you have to take it every day, but, why is she taking it if she's not going to be? I just kind of thought it was strange that she packed those unless she was on them nonstop, because some people just take them while they're, doing stuff. So I was confused, and, is she planning on going to meet somebody? Is that who she met? Is that the person that she was going to see? Because that makes sense if she was keeping a secret affair and, not saying that she did, but as an option. Her room was searched later. They discovered most of her belongings were in boxes, and the art was removed from the walls. She had not mentioned leaving to anyone at all. So it's not clear whether she packed them that day, but they said that she packed them between Sunday and Monday, which means it was fairly recent, you know. On top of them, she had an email. On top of the boxes was a printed email to Murray's boyfriend and indicating trouble in their relationship. Now, why would she print those? What? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me that she'd print out personal emails between her and her boyfriend and then print them out and set them on a box. I think that was staged. So I'm kind of thinking that somebody had something to do with it, which doesn't make any sense to me, you know? At 3:30, she drove off campus in her little sedan after classes had been canceled that day due to a snowstorm. 3:40, she withdrew $280 from an ATM. Showed she was alone. They had footage. At a nearby liquor store, she purchased $40 worth of alcoholic beverages for herself. $40 worth of alcohol for herself. I think she was meeting someone because she left voluntarily, I'm thinking. It said that she picked up the accident things. She also picked up accident report forms from Massachusetts Registry of Motor Vehicles. Then she left Amherst, went down the interstate. She checked her voicemail at 4:37. That was the last time she reported to check her phone. Today, there's no indication she told anyone where she was going or any evidence that she had chosen one. Okay. This is the most interesting part of the entire story that I love. I don't love it, love that it happened, but I love, it's just so interesting, you know? Okay, so, I gotta find different colors. See, I'm so bad at multitasking, you don't understand. Okay. This color. This is pretty. It's not very pigmented, though. Okay, so, sometime after 7, a resident in New Hampshire heard a thump outside her house. She thought she could see a car up against a snowbank outside her window. So, it pointed west on the eastbound side of the road. She telephoned a sheriff's department at 7:27. According to the log, the police had, it said that she claimed to see a man smoking a cigarette inside the car. But she was supposedly left alone. Then it said she later claimed that she didn't see a man smoking, but it was a red light glowing from inside the car, potentially from a cell phone. Okay, now mind you, a red light and a man smoking a cigarette are two very, very different things, and even if it was because the cigarette had a light on it, it's typically more of an orangey burnt light, not a red flashing light. Okay, that's my first WTF. Then it says that about the same time, another neighbor saw the car as well as someone walking around the vehicle. A third neighbor pulled up alongside the vehicle. Okay, now mind you, she crashed her car, right? Or it's up against, it broke down or whatever. There are 3 different neighbors in the middle, right around where she crashed her car. She's in the middle of, bum nowhere. And so then the neighbor, a school bus driver returning home, noticed that she was not bleeding or injured, but cold and shivering. He offered a telephone for help. She said not to call the police. Why not? If you broke down in the middle of nowhere, you know no one, you don't know anywhere and where you're going, why would you say not call the police? She said she'd already called AAA. Now, I'm thinking there was somebody in the car, like the woman said the first time, and that they were telling her and coercing her, don't call the police, don't, go withdraw this money, go withdraw this alcohol. Because this is totally not like her. And it says that she, knowing there was no signal in the area, the bus driver continued home and called the police anyway. His call was recorded by the department at 7:43. Mind you, 7:27 is when this first happened. So it's a few minutes later. He was unable to see her car when he made the call, but did notice several cars pass on the road before the police arrived. Another local said 7:37 she passed the scene, which is a few minutes before the bus driver called. She pulled over briefly, did not see anyone inside or outside the car, and decided to continue home. The witness claim contradicts the log, which has the police arriving 9 minutes later. 7:46, which is 17 minutes after she first arrived, or 19 minutes, around 20 minutes. The officer arrived at the scene. No one was inside or around the car. The car had impacted the tree on the driver's side, severely damaging the headlight and pushed the car's radiator into effect, or whatever. The car's windshield was cracked on the driver's side. Both airbags were out. Car was locked. if she's by the car, why is it locked? My first question. Especially if that's her only source of, like, heating and warmth right now. Why would she be outside and not be in the car? Anyways, so, they discovered red wine stains that looked like red wine. Like, red stains that looked like red wine. Inside the car, they found an empty beer bottle and a damaged box of wine on the rear seat. He found an AA card, a AAA card issued to Murray, I guess, or Murray. The blank accident forms, gloves, compact discs, makeup, jewelry, all kinds of stuff. Driving directions to Vermont where she knew no one. Very strange. And it says that she was missing her debit card, her credit cards, her cell phone, and none of this has been located since her disappearance. The purchased liquor was also missing. Yeah, I'm not going to take my cell phone or my debit cards, but I'm going to take the liquor, which makes me think people are saying she did it on her own. Like, I don't think she disappeared on her own. That's especially if she left all that stuff behind and didn't tell anyone where she was going. Like, the weirdest thing is that she was really close to her dad. Like, there's no way she wouldn't have told her dad where she was going if she was not, you know what I'm saying? Like, if she was going to tell anyone, it would have been her dad. Somebody summarized the incident. A writer for Massachusetts said that she went off the road at a hairpin turn, missed a tree at that point. They came along driving a bus. And it was the neighbor, asked if she needed help. She refused. 10 minutes later, they showed up, and she was gone. Now, here's the most fascinating part of the story. People were taking turns watching her, like, outside, because she was a girl, young, by herself outside. So they're taking turns because they're decent people, right? 7 minutes. For a 7-minute period, all three neighbors left the window because they thought somebody else was watching her, and in those 7 minutes, she disappeared. What? So then somebody claimed that they saw her between 8 and 8:30. They saw a young person moving quickly around where, like, 4 to 5 miles from where her car was discovered. They said that she was wearing jeans, dark coat, light-colored hood, did not report it to police immediately because of his confusion of dates, only discovering 3 months later that he had spotted the same person the same night that she disappeared. They went all around searching for her. They cleared the scene. The car had been towed to a garage. 9:30, they said that the officer left. Her emergency kit was discovered stuffed into the Saturn's muffler pipe. She was confirmed missing at 12 p.m. the next day when she had already been missing for 24 hours. I think that was totally the end of the story. They were all very confused because it was very unlike her to not tell anyone where she was going. That is totally not something she would do. She's going to Vermont. She knows no one in Vermont. And nobody's ever seen her since. That was totally it. I think it was really eerie. They said that her mom died, like, a few years later, but, like, within, like, almost the exact day she disappeared. Very strange. It said that her boyfriend turned his cell phone off, and I thought that was weird. He thought he received a voicemail around the time that she disappeared with her sobbing on it, which, pretty strange, if you ask me. That's pretty much the story. They have not found her. They have no clue where she's at. They had a few sightings, they thought, later on, reported her suicidal and stuff, but nothing ever turned up. Nobody ever found any footage of her. Nobody knows where she's at. This was back in 2004, so she's been missing for quite a while now. I don't know why I do that when I put mascara on, but I do. Yeah, that's totally the story. Sorry, it's not too interesting, like, murder, but, like, I think it's really fascinating. Mainly because, you know, in those 7 minutes she disappeared. She disappeared out of nowhere. No one ever knew where she was. It's very fascinating in the sense of, like, how does somebody disappear in 7 minutes? And if she was going by herself, she knew no one in Vermont. So I'm totally convinced that there was a man there with her and that he killed her It's very WTF. Anyways, I know this was kind of like a weird video, but I really wanted to film it and try it. I think from now on I'll just stick to like making videos about, you know, mental health, but I think I'll do like occasional murder mysteries, but I won't be doing makeup while I do them because I can't side task, obviously, or multitask, that's what it's called. I can't multitask. This is the look I came up with. This is a typical look for just if I go out or do something. This is it. Not very, you know, much of anything, but that's it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed a video like this. I might do more murder mysteries in the future. I'm kind of interested in doing Natalie Holloway, which is a really big blow-up case from when I was a little girl. If you guys know what that is, heard of that, I'm sure you know who she is. She actually happened after this Maura Murray case, because this happened in like 2004, is that right? Yeah, 2004. Very, very interesting. She's been missing for 16 years now, and nobody's ever found her, which I think is the strangest thing in the world. Usually they'll kill her and put her in the woods or something, like typically what those guys do, but nobody's ever found her, and I think that is the weirdest thing in the world. But anyways, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Sorry for rambling. I will see you in my next video, and it'll be a more normal video, I guess, but let me know if you like this. Okay, bye.